is full of videos that are easy to explain. You see them, you move on, and you forget about them. But every once in a while, you come across a video that feels so not right, not because it's scary in the usual way, but because there's no clear reason it should exist. These videos don't rely on jump scares, but most of the time they're quiet, ordinary, and out of context, and that's usually what makes them unsettling. In this video, we're going to look at a few interesting and unsettling videos, not to exaggerate them, but to understand why they feel uncomfortable and why people are still talking about them years later. Hello everyone, my name is Augustus and I make morbid documentaries on this channel. Compared to my last video, this one is a lot more chill. The last one just required a lot of tension and structure. And if you haven't watched that video, go check it out. It's somewhere here or here, don't know where it is. And it's also linked in my description, so check that out. Before I get on with this video, make sure you subscribe as we're trying to get on the road to 100 subscribers and hopefully by the end of 2026, yes I know I'm talking about the end of 2026, it just started, but hopefully we reach 100 subscribers. And let's get started. Obey the walrus. Obey the Walrus, also known by its Spanish title as Obedece la Morsa, is a video that's been surrounded by the day it got released. For years, people claimed it was made by a Latin American cult called La Morsa, and watching it could happen bad things. None of those claims were proven, but they spread quickly. The video is simple and low quality, and it shows a woman in a hallway dancing. And over the footage is a nursery rhyme, and it's Itsy Bitsy Spider but in Spanish. Music isn't loud or aggressive, it's very repetitive and grating. The woman featured in the clip isn't fictional or a part of the cult. The footage comes from an American performer known as Johnny Baima, who later used the stage name Sandy Crisp, also known as the Goddess Bunny. Her appearance, which many find very unsettling, is the result of contracting polio as a child. The original footage wasn't intended to be horror. It was later edited, reshaped, and reposted online without any context. The cult story and the idea of the video is cursed came afterward. They gave the clip a reputation it didn't originally have, turning into something people were afraid of. What makes Obey the Walrus unsettling isn't anything unsettling or supernatural, it's how easily a person becomes a horror story, shaped by editing, rumors, and internet's tendency to fill in the gaps of fear. Blank room soup.avi. The video, also known as soup.avi or soup.avi, it opens in a completely white room. In the center of the frame is a man who is seated on the chair. He is being filmed straight on. As the video progresses, one figure comes from the door and the other comes later on at the end of the footage. These figures are known as Ray. What makes Blank Room Soup disturbing isn't violence or the gore, but it's the complete lack of context. The room feels empty. There's no sense of safety. The mascots are designed to look friendly, but their stillness and silence turn them into something very impersonal. The man's emotional reaction is real enough to feel genuine, which creates a sense of discomfort. After years of the video beginning to circulate, it was revealed that the performance art duo is called as Ray Ray, which was created by artists Raymond Percy and Paul Wester. The video itself is believed to be a piece of performance art and not a real documentation of a crime. However, that information wasn't available when it first appeared online. Early theories suggested kidnapping, torture, or cult activity. I also remember that people on TikTok were accusing it to, in the bowl. I remember on TikTok there was this one particular video, and basically they were saying that in the bowl it was actually the man's wife and family, which is not true at all. Even after knowing it was very staged, Blank Room Soup remains unsettling because it mimics the feeling of witnessing something you weren't meant to see. There's no message, there's no moral value, there's no explanation, just an uncomfortable situation which is presented without a commentary. The video trusts the viewer to sit with that comfort, which is why it's still discussed years later. Don't hug me, I'm scared.
What's your favorite idea? Mine is being creative.
How do you get that idea?
I just try to think creatively. Now when you look at this orange, tell me please, what do you see?
It's just a boring old orange.
Maybe to you, but not to me. I see a silly face, walking along and smiling at me.
I don't see what you mean.
'Cause you're not thinking creatively. So take a look at my hair.
Cool.
I use my hair to express myself.
That sounds really boring.
I use my hair to express myself. Now, when you stare at the clouds in the sky, don't you find it exciting?
No.
Come on, take another look.
Wait, I can see a hat. I can see a cat. I can see a man with a baseball bat. I can see a dog. I can see a frog. I can see a ladder leaning on a log.
Think you're getting the hang of it now, using your minds to have a good time.
I might paint a picture of a clown.
Whoa there, friend, you might need to slow down. Here's another good tip of how to be a creative whiz kid. Go and collect some leaves and sticks and arrange them into your favorite colour.
Blue. Green.
Green is not a creative colour. There's one more thing that you need to know before you let your creativity flow. Listen to your heart, listen to the rain, listen to the voices in your brain. Come on guys, let's get creative. Get creative.
Me, I'm Scared opens up like a low-budget children's show, with the three main characters as a yellow puppy-like figure, red bird, and a green character who resembles a talking notebook or clock depending on the episode. As the song continues, small details start to feel off. The lyrics become confusing and contradictory, background elements change, the characters' expressions linger a little too long. The visuals slowly become increasingly graphic and chaotic, the friendly tone collapses into imagery involving decaying food, exposed organs, and distorted versions of the characters themselves. There's no clear transition between the child-friendly segment and the disturbing imagery. Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared isn't just unsettling because of the shock value, but it's the betrayal of expectations. When the video relies on familiarity, or when a child watches the video, it relies on the familiarity. It uses visual language of children's television like lessons, songs, mascots, and direct engagement with the viewer. When that structure breaks, it feels invasive, almost feels like something safe betrays you. The video doesn't really use traditional horror, but it uses the characters as a way to accept what's actually happening, even when they're clearly uncomfortable. The lack of resistance makes the situation feel inescapable. As the series continues, each episode introduces a new lesson. Time, love, technology, and each one spirals into chaos. The characters are often told to feel how they think, how to feel, and what's allowed. And when they question it, they are punished or ignored. Over time, it doesn't feel like a shock value, but it feels like a lesson of control. Even knowing what's coming, the contrast between the cheerful presentation and the disturbing imagery is hard to sit with. And that's why Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is still remembered not just as a shocking video, but as one that quietly rewires how you look at a particular thing that you're supposed to feel safe with. Dining room or There Is Nothing.
Anthem, C, red. There is nothing.
In this video, it shows a woman sitting alone at a small dining table in a confined room. The framing feels tight, making the space feel claustrophobic and inescapable. Behind her, visible through an opening or background space, the outside world appears to be engulfed in flame. The flames are not explained, they just simply exist, contrasting sharply with the stillness of the room. In front of the woman is a bowl placed on the table. She sits quietly for a moment before beginning to mumble to herself. Her voice is low and unclear, but one phrase stands out as she repeats it. There's nothing. Suddenly, without any build-up, she slams her head down into the bowl. The video cuts short. The amount of discomfort that this video gives you and how little the information the video gives, there is just no context for who the woman might be or where she is or why the world is engulfed in flames. The phrase "there is nothing" feels philosophical and hopeless. It suggests emptiness or acceptance of something that's happening in real life. Rather than building up tension traditionally, the video relies on silence. The burning background can be seen as destruction or the collapse of the outside world, while the dining room represents routine and isolation. The woman remains seated, unmoving, as if she's refusing to acknowledge what's happening beyond the room. Her repetition of "there's nothing" may suggest emotional numbness. The final act feels like a breaking point, a moment where repression turns inward. Like many unsettling internet videos, Dining Room refuses to clarify its its meaning. It presents an image, phrase, and an action and leaves the viewers alone with the aftermath. A man in the catacombs.
This video camera was found deep in the catacombs. It was picked up by a catacomb explorer, some of the people who wandered down there. It was given to me. I looked at the tape. It's very bizarre. It's a point of view shot. Point of view shot is somebody just walking forwards with the camera. So basically he's filming what he's seeing very deep inside the catacombs. Other than the point of view shots are pictures of bones. Human bones.
In 1785, millions of bodies were exhumed from Paris cemeteries and dumped into the catacombs.
This person occasionally stops and he photographs bones, often in the shape of an arrow. These arrows point in a direction. Occasionally also he stops to photograph roomfuls of bones, which means that he's very, very deep inside the catacombs. What happened to him? Nobody knows.
Filmmaker Francis Friedland was determined to solve the mystery of the lost catacombs explorer.
I mean, there are 400 miles of tunnels like this. So I brought the tape to a cataphile, an urban explorer. Cataphiles are strange people. They're people who have this passion for the catacombs. These people go down there to find new passages, new entries, new bones. Lézard is probably the person in Paris who knows the catacombs better than anyone. So according to Lézard, the person is not someone who knew his way around. My intention right now is to go down with a still photographer, Vincent, a friend. I'm also going to take an excellent sound man, Francis, to spend some time in the catacombs and try to solve the mystery. There are ways to match things up, to try to identify where this person was in the catacombs. At times you'll see there's signs, painted signs on the wall, which is not uncommon. People have been painting in the catacombs for centuries. So it is possible with these paintings that we may be able to retrace an itinerary to some extent. After about 40 minutes of these point of view shots and these pictures of bones, the person begins to walk faster and faster. Then he begins to run. We hear his breathing get louder and louder, as though something was scaring him. He's frightened, he's frightened. Occasionally he stops, perhaps to try to decide which way to run among all the many different corridors. He's running faster and faster and faster, deeper and deeper into the catacombs. And all of a sudden, he drops the camera. He just dropped. The camera just drops on the ground and keeps rolling. And you see his feet just run away. And it keeps rolling until it runs out of tape. Francis and I are going to now meet the director of the Catacombs Museum, who has nothing to do with the cataphiles, doesn't even want to know about the cataphiles, but he may have some information, and hopefully he can let us look at some maps of the catacombs.
In Paris, you have as many miles of tunnels underground as there are streets above ground. No one knows just how many passageways exist in the catacombs, but we believe that they go down over 300 feet. Some are filled with water, and many tunnels have collapsed over the years. It's an enormous maze. We think there are as many as 7 levels to it, spreading under the entire city.
How do you get into the catacombs? Illegally, of course. And the idea is to find an entrance. The problem is that the authorities keep shutting them down. Apparently, Lézard has found a new way to get in. But it's way out from the center of town. It's actually on the edge of the city, through the railroad tracks for about a mile. And then this little hole in the ground. And we have to crawl through it. And we'll try to solve the mystery if we can.
This anonymous anonymous videotape was discovered deep in the catacombs beneath the streets of Paris.
This videographer, he could still be down there. Maybe he found his way out. Nobody knows. My intentions now, as I've seen the tape, is to go down there, to try to find out what happened. So we'll try to solve the mystery if we can.
So the trick is to wash not only your feet, but your head.
I have never been very deep into the catacombs before. Very few people have. Already when you enter the catacombs, the first few hundred yards are already scary. You have to crawl. You can bump your head. It's pitch black. You trip upon rocks, holes. You can fall pretty deep.
There are 400 miles of tunnels within the catacombs. Many of these passages lead to lower levels.
Really, the tunnels are so incredibly vast, our chances of finding the lost man are probably very slim. But we do know by looking at his video that he got as far as these lower levels, where we are now.
Anybody can get lost in here. I mean, imagine just running out of batteries on your flashlight. You're dead. You're dead. It's true. I mean, just look at this. You lose your flashlight. What happens? We're finished. We're dead.
The explorers traveled 6 miles into the catacombs with no sign of the lost man.
This is my own opinion, but this is far too deep for an amateur to be messing around. He must have lost his way down some passage and died.
After 6 hours, the group was exhausted and running low on batteries. Francis decided to abandon the search.
There's a manhole up there, which is supposed to be open to get out, but apparently it's locked or Lizardo's having a difficult time opening it up. We're gonna have to backtrack and walk back the 5 or 6 miles that we had coming here. That would be hours and hours and hours. And let's hope our batteries don't die in us in the meantime. So close, yet so far. We're 10 feet from freedom and we can't get out. It's about 60 feet from here to the street. Well, it looks like a manhole. There's no way to get out of it. It needs to be a mountain climber to get out of it. I think I saw this on the tape. I think I saw this on the tape. This figure with the arms outstretched, the legs outstretched. And I think after this, the camera turns right.
Donc là, on va passer sur un passage de
This is really dramatic. I'm standing on dozens of corpses, just walking on them. You can't see the bottom. I don't even know how deep this is. You could be walking on thousands of corpses here. Look how deep this thing goes. It looks like the killing fields. According to Les Arts, if you search through these catacombs, you could find the gate to hell. Perhaps this person found it by accident. This is the gate to hell. $12 underground. I'm sorry that I got my buddies involved in this. It's very tough. We didn't solve the mystery. I don't think anyone ever will. Just too many miles of tunnels in there. We'll never understand what frightened whoever it was that dropped the stake.
According to the framing of the videos, the recordings are obtained by a director who claims to have no knowledge of where the footage came from. Curious and unsettled by what he's watching, he gathered up a team to retrace the path shown in the video. They entered the Paris catacombs themselves, attempting to locate the tunnels seen on camera and determine whether the events could happen. Even though they had access to maps, experience, knowledge, and referring to many people about the path, they are unable to clarify the particular location. Even though they did find the particular location, they were unable to find the man. Part 1 shows the man actually moving with confidence. He's walking steadily, occasionally stopping to look around or adjust his light. But as the video progresses, his movements are slow. He pauses more often, scanning the walls and passageway as if he's trying to find something or navigate to somewhere. The silence is very heavy, only footsteps, breathing, and echoes. By the end of part 1, his sense of direction is gone. The video cuts abruptly, offering no explanation. Part 2 resumes later. The footage is shakier, his breathing is more labored. The man moves erratically, no longer exploring but searching. At one point, the camera is dropped and left recording on the ground as the man runs away. But you guys have to know something. The Paris catacombs are not entirely fictional. They are a vast underground ossuary created in the late 18th centuries when Paris faced a public health crisis caused by overflowing cemeteries. Millions of human remains were transferred underground into old limestone quarries, creating miles of tunnels beneath the city. Today, only a small portion of the catacombs is open to the public. The majority of the tunnels are illegal, unmapped, and constantly changing due to collapses and unofficial modification. Even experienced explorers, known as cataphiles, have gone lost underground. This history gives the footage its weight. The idea of someone becoming disoriented in a place built from human remains far below the city is not unrealistic. It's something that has happened before. What makes these videos disturbing isn't what we see, it's what we're forced to imagine. The first-person perspective removes any sense of safety. There's no narrator, no music, no indication that help is nearby, and when the man disappears, the camera doesn't dramatize it, it just keeps recording. And the added layer of the director and his team failing to locate the man only deepens the discomfort. Hi Walter, I got a new girlfriend today.
Hi Walter, I was at the mall today and guess what happened? I met the most wonderful girl. We went shopping at JCPenney's and she tried on a lot of clothes. And she ended up buying a whole lot of them, you know what I mean? And then we decided to go and take a look at some of the jewelry at K Jewelers, and she picked out this most awesome necklace, the most amazing necklace I've ever seen. And I know she wanted me to buy it for her because she kept on looking at me and kept on giving me that look, you know the look. And then we got kind of tired of the mall and I brought her back to my place. And I know she hates cameras, Walter, but I'm gonna show you her anyways. You ready?
In my view, this video is something that I'm quite interested in, and it's something that kind of piqued my interest for some reason. It's about this man called Patrick who presents himself and he's filming in front, and he calls the camera, or in my opinion calls us Walter. We are Walter. And he basically explains to Walter that he has a new girlfriend. And he also goes on to how about he went shopping with her and did this and that. And something to note is that his tone is not a sort of excitement, but it's strange, some type of subdued kind of excitement that kind of feels out of place. At one point, he says that she doesn't like cameras, but he then goes to show her anyways. The video then cuts to a next scene, what looks like a basement. Patrick opens a door and briefly reveals a woman who is restrained inside the room. She reacts immediately, and the moment feels abrupt and intrusive. Patrick then enters the room and closes the door behind him. What happens next isn't shown. The video stops short of explanation or resolution, leaving the viewer to confront the implication rather than explicit imagery. Years later, the video gained massive traction, with viewers connecting the woman in the video to Kayla Burke, a young woman who disappeared from Antigua, Wisconsin in August of 2009. Kayla Burke's mother noted similarities in clothing and appearance, leading to widespread fear. That video showed her daughter. Local police investigated, but the video's authenticity was questioned. 2150 Studios, the New York-based company that produced the video, issued an apology, stating it was a comedic sketch and not related to Kayla Burke, expressing sympathy for the Burke family and hoping the attention would help find Kayla. So yes, thankfully the video is a big hoax, but could you imagine if any of the information was real?